Okay, so I wanted to try recording a video on my new Lenovo laptop. It has Windows 11 and it's a laptop, so it has a lot less noise. It doesn't have a noisy fan like my desktop mini PC. So I make it better audio quality. So you can listen to this and let me know if it's better than my usual videos I try to record from my computer. And today, about, I was actually thinking about a lot of things, as I usually am, being the autistic nerd that I am. But I was actually thinking about how having a society based on money is always going to devalue women. And now, for the purpose of this video, I'm not talking about transgender or intersex people, even though that's something I talk about a lot because I'm transgender and possibly intersex, and discrimination against all LGBT people is a big thing that's very important to me. But let's just assume, for the sake of this video, that everybody is either male or female, and everybody's cis and straight. Um, I realize that to an employer, women are always going to be less valuable than men for the simple fact that they do um, get pregnant and have a variety of complicated health problems that men don't have. And I was thinking about it. Obviously, with the majority of jobs that are, just hard physical labor, just physical strength is an aspect, especially even where I work as a Walmart overnight stalker. Be having a high level of physical strength is definitely an asset when you're lifting heavy boxes all day. So it gives males an advantage. Unfortunately, I don't really have much of an advantage because I'm weaker than all of the males there. And that's what happens when you have no testicles and no testosterone. But that being what it is, I'm realizing that if companies want to make the most amount of money and pay the least to their employees, they're going to want to employ men because they have higher physical strength and because they don't get pregnant, so they don't need maternity leave, they don't need to have a health insurance to cover, all of their pregnancy related expenses and all of all of their kinds of stuff. You know, health insurance companies are stingy, companies are stingy, and I was just realizing how, because of greed and selfishness, and because money is valued over human lives, not to mention the lives of the non-human animals, um, biological females or cis women are always going to be considered as worth less. Now, of course, women have a place in the workplace in modern times, but only because of anti-discrimination laws. The only reason that gay or trans or women or anybody that's been traditionally discriminated against is allowed to have jobs is because we have laws in place to prevent discrimination. So if you had a large company that they only hired men and never hired any women, then they would probably get in legal trouble because people would try to sue them for discrimination, and it would look like a lot of evidence would indicate that. And I think for this reason, companies intentionally hire women. They intentionally hire people of different races. They hire LGBT people. I think they do this for this reason, just so that they are not accused of discriminating. Even if they want to, they can't because they could get sued for discriminating if they make it too obvious. So discrimination still happens, of course, but it it's just they hide it better than they used to. So the patriarchy is still pretty much always going to be a thing because of money. I'm not saying this is the way it should be, obviously. I'm saying this is the way it is because we live in a society based on money. And we all know it's hard. We all know the economy is just worse than ever, because the cost of living has skyrocketed, and yet the what people are paid, there's no way it can compare with it. So that's just the bottom line is it's a problem. I'm not saying I have a solution. Hey, I wish I had a solution, but there's a lot of problems I would like to solve that I can't. But I'm just, throwing this out there. I remember very specifically there was an article I read years ago. It was this article where there was this woman who she worked for a Christian college, but she got pregnant, and she wasn't married. Therefore, they fired her for breaking their rules on premarital sex. And Christian colleges and Christian organizations do weird stuff like that. So who did they give the job to? The man who got that woman pregnant. They fired her and then hired her boyfriend. It just goes to show how women will never have equality. The realization feminism will not succeed as long as women do have sex with men. So your only options to have equal rights to men are either to be celibate or to be lesbian. That's your options. You can disagree with me if you like, but I'm pretty sure the reasoning is solid here. That's how it is, because you can't be equal while still allowing men to have power over you in that way. It's a crazy thing. It's very strange, and this is a very emotional issue for me. And you might wonder why it's an emotional issue for me. Well, first of all, I don't like it when anyone's mistreated. A lot of you know that I'm vegan and I don't like the animals to be mistreated. I hate racism, sexism, speciesism, homophobia, transphobia. I hate all forms of discrimination. I don't want to see anyone mistreated. But I think part of what's so complicated about this is that, first of all, capitalism and a monetary society is directly what leads to abortion of the unborn babies. Not to mention it also leads to, the killing of non-human animals, because factory farming is a huge industry. It's all about money. Once you take the money out of it, it wouldn't be happening. And then it's crazy because even vegan pro-lifers who are celibate like me, we're still being taxed. We're all forced to pay taxes, and then having abortion and factory farming funded by our tax dollars that the government steals from us. And not to mention funding wars. So the point is, we're all affected negatively by what anyone else does. Every bad decision that anyone makes in society affects everyone else. And I suppose the reverse is also true. When people do the good things, it also affects everyone else in some way. So I don't want to be completely negative here, but it's just something that's been on my mind a lot, is that when it comes to the rest of the animal kingdom, they don't have money. They don't work jobs and have money and pay rent and utility bills. And so what happens to what one may do may uh, be affecting them and the animals around them immediately, but it doesn't affect the rest of the planet the way humans affect the whole planet, and how a monetary society has led to hatred and murder of all kinds of minority groups. It's led to wars. It's led to pollution that's destroying the planet with climate change and everything. And so it's just very sad because I am seeing, and this is something I've said before on the internet, and I'm just realizing, okay, now you know how in the Bible when Jesus said that money, the love of money is the root of all evil. And my mom was recently telling me how it actually, if correctly translated, would be money is a root of all kinds of evil. And there's different Bible translations, but the general principle is that the love of money, not necessarily money itself, but the love of money at the exclusion of everything else, to where you're willing to kill for money, that becomes a problem. And so the love of money is killing us all. It's killing the women, it's killing the gays, it's killing people of all different races, it's killing people of wars, but most importantly, it's killing billions of cows, chickens, pigs, sheep, everything. There's so many things, like even how the animals that are killed for their tusks and horns, like the rhino horns and the narwhal horns and the elephant tusks. They're all just killed. People kill for money all the time. And so it's very simple. If you love money more than you love living things, you will kill if it financially benefits you. And if you love other living things more than money, you're doomed to be poor because it's hard to make an honest living. The billionaires, like, I don't really believe that people can become millionaires and billionaires um, while behaving ethically. Not unless they're those geniuses like the guy who made Minecraft, for instance, or Alexei Pajitnov, who made Tetris and now owns all the rights to that. But with the exception of very rare geniuses who make inventions that sell a lot, most people don't become rich by being fair and by being ethical. They usually hurt many people in the process. And that's just a sad fact of our world. It's just something that's been on my mind recently. And I guess I just needed to have a little rant about it. But I also wanted to test, the audio and video recording capabilities of my new computer. So that's my rant. Take it for what it's worth, and I'll have to figure out what to title this video. So leave me your comments if you have any. Thanks for listening.